In today's video, I will give you an overview of different methods of solving quadratic equation. Any equation which can be written in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 is known as quadratic equation. The highest power of this equation is x power 2. And therefore, this is also known as a second degree equation, and as for being a second degree equation, it always have two solutions. We can also say that it has two roots, or we can also say that it has two values of x. There are different methods for solving any given quadratic equation, and we'll look into all three one by one. First method is solving the quadratic equation by factorization. In this method, the equation ax square plus bx plus c is factorized and then written in the form of its factor x minus a, x minus b, and maybe another constant k. Once you rewrite this equation into its factors, you can then work out the values of x, and you can work out the roots of this equation. The second method is solving the quadratic equation by completing the square. In this method, the same equation, the quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c, is rewritten in the form x minus q whole square plus r, and with another constant p, which is basically now converted into a completed square form. Here p, q, and r are constant, and then once you convert the equation into completed square form, then you can work out the value of x. And the third method is solving the quadratic equation by quadratic formula. In quadratic formula, the equation ax square plus bx plus c and its roots can be worked out by the formula x is equal to minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac under the root over 2a, where a is the coefficient of x square, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant. Let us further explore these three methods with the help of an example. Let us consider a quadratic equation x square minus 5x minus 14 is equal to 0, and we have to find the roots of this equation. In other words, we have to solve this equation and work out the values of x. First method is solving this equation by factorization. In this method, the equation x square minus 5x minus 14 is equal to 0 must be splitted into its factors, and in order to split the equation into its factors, we have to focus on this constant, which is minus 14, and we know that 14 can be written as 2 into 7. Now we have to choose the signs for 2 and 7 such that our answer and addition gives us negative 5, which is the coefficient of x. So here, because we need minus 14, so one of our factor must be negative and one of the factor must be positive. So if we say negative 7 and positive 2, when we multiply them out, we will get negative 14, and when we add these two factors, positive 2 add negative 7, we will get negative 5, which is the coefficient of x. So, therefore, positive 2 and negative 7 are our required factors. X square minus 7x minus plus 2x minus 14 is equal to 0. This is the next step. We then break down negative 5x into minus 7x plus 2x. So, once we write it down in this form, we focus on first two terms separately and the last two terms separately and further factorize them. In the first two terms, we can see that x can be taken as a common factor and the remaining factors are x minus 7. And in the next two terms, we can take 2 as a common factor and the remaining terms are x minus 7 again is equal to 0. Now, clearly you can see that x minus 7 and x minus 7 can be taken as a common factor, and once you take this out, in the first place you get x, in the second place you will get plus 2 is equal to 0. Now, our quadratic equation is factorized. After completing the factorization, we can say either the first factor, which is x minus 7 in this case, is equal to 0, or the second factor x plus 2 is equal to 0. So, from here you will get one value of x, which is x is equal to 7, and from here you will get the second value of x, which is negative 2. So, these are the required roots of this equation when we work out the equation by factorization. Now, we will work out the same equation by completing the square. So, x square minus 5x minus 14 is equal to 0. To convert this equation into completed square form, we have to focus on to this number, which is the coefficient of x. So, first step is half this number. So, minus 5 divided by 2, which gives us minus 2.5. Once you get this one, then this minus 2.5 will be written inside the bracket in like that, x minus 2.5, and this will be the square part of this equation, x minus 2.5 whole square, and then subtract minus 2.5 square from the bracket. Now, you can see that when we subtract minus 2.5 square, and square is always positive. So, it is same as subtracting positive 2.5 square. Okay. So, here you can simply write it down, subtracting 2.5 square from the bracket, and don't forget about this term. So, minus 14 is equal to 0. So, I believe that you are familiar how to convert a given quadratic equation into completed square form. If not, I will explain it in another video. So, further simplify it, x minus 2.5 whole square minus 2.5 square is 6.25 minus 14 is equal to 0. Further, x minus 2.5 whole square minus 20.25 is equal to 0, because minus 14 and minus 6.25 gives us minus 20.25, and further we can write it down, x minus 2.5 whole square is equal to 20.25. Taking square root, on both sides, we will get x minus 2.5 is equal to square root of 20.25 is 4.5 with a positive and negative sign. We know that whenever we work out a square root, it ends up in two answers, one positive and one negative. So from here we can say now either x minus 2.5 is positive 4.5 or x minus 2.5 is equal to negative 4.5. Solving this one, you will get x is equal to 7 and here you will get x is equal to minus 2, which are the required roots of this equation, and you can see that these are same as we have worked out using factorization. And the third method of solving the same equation, x square minus 5x minus 14 is equal to 0, is to find the roots of this equation using the quadratic formula. And quadratic formula is x is equal to minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac under the root over 2a. You have to memorize this formula and then write down the numerical values of a, b and c. A is always the coefficient of x square, which is 1 in this case. B is the coefficient of x, which is minus 5, and c is this constant number, which is minus 14. So plug in these values into the formula, you will get minus into minus 5 plus minus minus 5 square minus 4 into a into c whole under the root whole divided by 2 into a, which is 1. And further simplifying it, you will get 5 plus minus, solving this whole thing, you will get 9 over 2. And again, either x is equal to 5 plus 9 over 2 or x is equal to 5 minus 9 over 2. This will give you an answer. 5 plus 9 is 14, 14 over 2 is 7, and this will give you the second root. 5 minus 9 is minus 4, minus 4 over 2 is minus 2. I hope this example has cleared your concept further, and that's all for now. See you next. Take care.